Sound speeds. And as someone who usually ends up working at least 60 plus hours during the week, not including lecture commute, and ends up doing content creation in the middle of the night, I had to come up with a solution to keep myself from jumping out of my skin every time. Well, let me just tell you a little story.
Or maybe there's just one person standing there and they're talking.
It was around 2:30 a.m. and I was recording a video when I heard a strange noise. Everyone in the house had been asleep for hours, so I walked the dark and quiet house looking out all the windows and heard nothing. But 3 minutes later, I went back to recording and...
That was good, but we're going to try it one more time.
Oh, Jesus! There's a noise I heard outside a moment ago. Because I quite literally jumped up and went over to the window, but there was nothing there. So I went outside there and then I went around there, but it sounded like a scratching or somebody trying to get in. That's the reason why I reacted that way.
I have a splinter. I need help.
A manly response, wouldn't you agree? Now, she needed an extra hand to help her get out a splinter, and being that it was 2:30 a.m., I was the one that was drafted since I was the only person awake. But since I seldom pause for a breath when I'm recording, have you ever noticed that? And she doesn't just want to bust a take, so she'll patiently wait outside the door of my studio, listening for an opportunity to enter. Or at least she did until this happened. It's very easy to get intensely focused on something, and if you turn your cell phone to silent mode and then flip the screen upside down so you don't see it lighting up, it can be extremely difficult to actually get a message to you when you're recording or editing. And because I'm getting older and don't want a splinter to lead me to have a heart attack, I did what I do and came up with a solution. A wireless doorbell. Now, this particular version has a silent mode that flashes LEDs light enough that you can see even in a well-lit studio. And by adjusting the tone, even though it's muted, you can actually adjust the amount of time that it flashes those lights. It has more than enough range to punch through a couple of walls, and because it only uses power in short increments, the batteries last a long time. Although it's plenty bright enough for you to see, once you back them off more than about 18 inches away from your skin, it's no longer bright enough to read on camera. Now, reflections are another matter though. So I can still be in the zone while recording or editing with my headphones on, thus blocking out the outside world, and my family can still give me a message when they need to in a non-distracting way. When I see the light go on in my peripheral vision, I finish that take and then call out for them to enter. There are many different versions out there, but this one here is very easy to see. Some of them aren't. They have a little bitty LED that you can't see over your studio lights. But this one, no problem. I put links down in the description if you'd like to check it out. So if you're a content creator or in a similar predicament, then consider this as an option. I highly recommend it. As a side note, with exception of the audio in the scared video portion at the beginning of this video when I'm wearing a yellow shirt, all the audio in the presentation portion of this episode was processed using Adobe Podcast AI. If you want to learn more about that, click the upper left video recommendation in about 5 seconds. Thank you for tuning into this episode of SoundSpeeds. Be sure to tune in the future for more sound tricks, potential heart attack preventing tips, and as always, sound advice.
Have a question you'd like answered or want to add something? Be sure to write it in the comment section down below. You can also make a suggestion for future topics of discussion. Again, comment section down below, or you can email me at soundspeeds@yahoo.com. Be sure to subscribe and turn on notifications so you won't miss out on future sound advice.